tog sig on bed.
Robert, get your fucking breath away, it's minging.
Hi there, I'm disingenuous tree surgeon Melissa Kelly, and today we're going to be reviewing Drag Me to Hell, film all about why you should always root for the little guy and why sometimes the final girl gets everything she deserves. Hi there my dudes, I hope you're shiny. Remember, you can watch me reacting along to Drag Me to Hell over on my Patreon. Today's film is brought to you by the Church of Do Unto Others, as you would have done unto you. The Buddhist monks of Tibet have a saying, one cannot feel deep love for their fellow men if they do not also feel their pain. And if they cannot feel their pain, murder them with demons. Directed by Sam Raimi of Evil Dead fame, whom I will be personally addressing throughout this video because I know he watches the channel for notes. First of all, Sam, these title credits, they are too fucking long. But the film does start as it means to go on with an absolutely fantastic beginning where a local family brings their young boy over to the local psychic because he's been hearing voices and seeing shadows. After stealing an old woman's bracelet, the psychic does try to help the family, but after she and everyone else is ninjaed by an unknown entity, the boy is sucked into a hellish earthquake. Moral lesson number 1. Don't steal from the elderly. Then we meet our heroine Christine, played by Alison Lohman. The film does a really good job of making us feel sorry for Christine and paints her as this all-American good girl who's had a bit of a rough time. She's taken elocution lessons, she used to be a former fatty, she's desperately trying to prove herself against her terrible co-worker Stu, blah 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 blah. I'm sorry. She's the worst. And whilst there are points in the movie where you will feel sorry for her, she still absolutely made this hellish bed for herself. Christine heads to lunch to hang out with her boyfriend Clay, played by first man ever invented, that's right, it's Justin Long. She lovingly gives him a coin that she found at the bank because he's a collector. Moral rule number 2, don't steal from your work. No wait, that's always steal from your work. Maybe? If it's smaller than a dishwasher, it's fair game. Between Clay taking a phone call she overhears about how she's not good enough for him, and her co-worker greedy Stu who just keeps trying to fuck with her the entire time, the film does a really good job of setting up all of Christine's motivations and justifications for all of her behaviour going forward. It's time to meet the ultimate villain of the piece. My personal favourite is Mrs. Ganoush.
Will you help me?
Mrs. Ganoush comes to the bank because she's having her house repossessed, and after explaining to Christine that she lost her eye to a sickness and she's been living in her home for 30 years, she begs for help to save her home. But Christine, wanting to show her boss that she has the minerals to be a complete arsehole, refuses to help. And Sam Raimi, wanting to show us the sensitive, thoughtful guy he is, shows us exactly what kind of human this genetically foreign woman is. A dirty thief who's violent. Hey Sam, why don't you just talk to us about how all Irish people are drunks? Or how all American people are fat and stupid? You Also, can we talk about her name for a second, Mrs. Ganoush? I would have loved to have been in the room when they had that conversation. We still don't have a name for our villain though. It's really got to be something authentic. Yeah, like something Eastern European sounding. Gorbachev? No, that's not quite right. How about we name her after some kind of foreign food like tagine or hummus? Yeah, I really like the Huck sound, but no, it's still not right. Ah, I've got it. Baba Yaga. Yeah, it's a little on the nose still though. Baba Yaga. Baba. That's it. I've got it. Baba Ganoush. Mrs. Baba Ganoush. What's Baba Ganoush? It's just some kind of foreign radiator. This is why they pay you the big bucks, Peter. I know. The security escort Mrs. Baba Ganoush out the door, and Christine is left wondering, did she do the right thing? Plot twist, no, she didn't do the right thing. After work in the car park, she's stopped by a haunted napkin. Whoa. And just when she thinks the terror is over, Baba Ganoush appears in her car. Okay, this fight scene though is amazing, like it's truly suffocating, and I didn't realise until my last watch through that actually underneath they're playing free-form jazz on a double bass, which just adds to the feeling of complete chaos. That's definitely something about this film that elevates it above all else in its ilk. The sound design and the score are absolutely fantastic. There's motifs for the haunting, there's motifs for Baba Ganoush. It's just outstanding. I mean, I'll be honest, it's not the music that I would use. Sam Raimi does his usual gross out moments, in which he doesn't warn his actresses that he's about to fill their mouth with something. Careful. Before Baba Ganoush steals one of Christine's buttons and places a curse on her by whispering Lamia into it. I actually had no idea it was that easy to place a curse on someone just with something they own. And to be honest, I've never liked that bitch next door. The aftermath of this fight leaves Christine feeling unsettled and eerie. Claire tries to comfort her, and then she decides that she wants to go and see a psychic. Not another fucking psychic. But instead of a slow-talking old white woman, we get a young, articulate Asian man. Progressive. Justin Long, as always, does an amazing job here as being a complete non-believer between the arguments he's having with the psychic as they're going in to the little faces he's making in the background.
You work with money.
That's right.
And you've recently lost something.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Until the psychic has a vision. This actor that plays this psychic is actually really good. Instead of it being that crazy over-the-top psychic vision that we usually get, it's super subtle, which makes it way scarier. It also must be really inconvenient to get visions all the time. Oh. What is it? It's a vision. Oh. What do you see? Oh. The ham in the fridge is about to go out of date. Oh, that's it? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, they can't all be super dramatic. No, it's fine, it's totally fine, you know. That's information that we needed to know, you know, it's not like it's printed on the side of the package. What was that? Nothing. Okay, we need to talk about how consistently both Christine and other people get ghost ninja'd in this film. I mean it. Every moment she's alone, ghost ninja. Anytime there's any kind of spookiness, ghost ninja. In fact, if they decided to create a TV programme all about this hidden entity that keeps slapping a bitch, I would watch that.
Ghost ninja, ghost ninja. Ghost ninja, kick my ass again.
Like, I'm not mad at it. It is super scary because, like, if that were happening to you, it would be frightening, but it happens a lot in this film. Christine continues to be haunted by what we assume is the devil, and owner of the first ever male genitalia, Justin Long, does absolutely nothing to help. That's not fair, actually. He does. He pats her on the head like a dog a few times. Then, of course, we're treated to another Sam Raimi moment. Sam Raimi, you're a sick little kitten. Also, do you know how they did this? The Baba Ganoush there is a puppet. They put a plunger and a pipe in the back of Baba Ganoush's head, and they plungered all of that into her mouth. Her horror on screen, all real. It only gets worse from here when Christine goes to work the next day, and then she doesn't go to the hospital after this.
Got it under control.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh god! Oh my god! Stop it!
Why wouldn't you go to accident emergency? What part of you would be like, I appear to have lost 3 pints of blood through my knees and my body feels like lava. Maybe I should go for a jog. We get some mild exposition from the psychic when Christine realises she's proper fucked. And again, whilst it is an explanation, it is done in a fairly satisfying way. We would be asking these questions if we were in this situation, so it doesn't feel too much like we're being schooled. After returning home with a book on animal sacrifice, Christine is left very much alone, which means, of course, it's time to be ghost ninja'd.
Ghost ninja. Ghost ninja. Ghost ninja, kick my ass again.
Believing her life is absolutely on the line, Christine further proves that she is nothing more than a bubble biter by sacrificing her own kitten to save her life. And that's where she loses me. I'm sorry. Look at this wee guy. Look at him. Someone came to me and they said, Melissa, you need to stab this little guy or you're going to hell. You know what I would do? I would go directly to hell. Look at his face. I'm not going to stab him. What's he doing? Why is he wearing a bandana? What kind of motorcycle gang has he joined? Drag me to hell. Don't ask any questions. I'm happy to go.
Welcome, Melissa, to your damnation.
Ooh, I'm so scared. Ooh.
How dare you mock me, peasant?
How dare you smell as bad as you do, but you know, here we are.
I do not smell.
Yes you do.
I know.
You do.
Don't.
Do.
Don't.
Do.
Don't.
Do.
Silence.
But, of course, even though she has murdered her own kitten and proved to us all that she's an absolute bench sniffer, curse is, of course, not lifted. And not just because the movie hasn't ended yet. Despite these facts, we then get a really huge scene where Christine and Clay go to his parents' house for dinner. And oh my fucking god, it's too long. It's so too long. Like, we get it. Clay comes from a rich family. They don't approve of Christine because she used to be a poor. But you know what? I don't care. Sam, too long. As you can imagine, dinner doesn't go well.
I hear you! Leave me alone! Just leave me the hell alone!
So Christine returns to the psychic, who has some new options to try and lift the curse, but this one costs $10,000. There it is. That's a psychic we all know and love. This is actually the only part of the film where I feel genuinely sorry for Christine. A lot of the times in movies we're never actually shown where they get the money for things, or someone just sticks it on a credit card and it's never spoken about again. But in this one, the film takes us on the journey for Christine to go and get all of her worldly possessions, take it to the pawn shop, only to find it's still not enough. The scene where all of the piles of tiny money are sitting in front of her and she's eating ice cream, that's genuinely heartbreaking. But fear not, because Mankini inventor Justin Long has come to save the day with his daddy's money. Christine is now free to go and get her exorcism or medium or psychic or some shit, it's never really clear. Christine meets the OG psychic from the start of the film. She's aged, she has some stories. The most important one being that she's only ever come up against this demon once and she failed killing her subject. To be clear, $10,000, 0% success rate. But time has come for the seance. Maybe. And enter the second best character in this film. That's right. The reluctant goat. I'm sorry, but this was a misstep. Like, I get it that ghosts are supposed to represent the devil. Metaphorically, I mean, not as his solicitor. But it's just so silly. Look at this wee guy! Look at him! He's having the time of his life. Hey, my guy, what's with the knife? You guys. Has anyone tried cheesy popcorn? The seance begins in earnest, like all seances do. Seances? Seance? With a little sing-song. And if you could take the hand of the person sitting next to you, wake me up before you go. We then get some of the usual haunting tropes, and I'll be honest, it's all a little bit Disney's Haunted Mansion, and I do like that. Oh, maybe just not for this moment. And whilst the scene becomes increasingly silly, this music is still outstanding. Fans of Sam Raimi and The Evil Dead would really enjoy this scene. It feels very Deadites, being mean to the living, blah blah blah, but it just feels so tacked on. And now everyone, it's time for this.
You tricked me, you black-hearted whore!
No, Milos, no!
You bitch!
What follows is the usual Sam Raimi shtick of people with big eyes and teeth running at each other. We can quite clearly see how one of the actors is being suspended. And it's all just a bit lazy, Sam. But we love it anyway. Sort of. The rest of the film is still another half an hour, and it's too long. If they had edited down this film, it would have been perfection, but they didn't. The psychic dies, and then Christine learns that there's a third way that she can get rid of the curse that the psychic very conveniently didn't tell her. She has to take the button that was cursed and she has to gift it to someone else. What follows is just a really long scene where she's in a diner eating ice cream sundaes like she's SpongeBob SquarePants. She threatens her co-worker and then almost gives the curse to a random innocent person. What a shithead! Then she gets the kooky idea to give the button to the dead body of Mrs. Baba Ganoush. Not happy with pushing her out of her own home and forcing her into an early grave, she's now going to dig up said early grave, shove the button down her throat and kick her mouth shut. It's completely reasonable. The next day, the curse is lifted. She goes to meet Clay at the train station so they can go away on a small break and forget all of their worries and the terrors of the past few days. Christine buys herself a fancy new coat and meets the love of her life on the platform. But then he remembers to give Christine back the small envelope with her button in it. That's right! Plot twist! She didn't shove a button down Mrs. Baba Ganoush's throat. It was one of the nerd's coins. The earth opens up and swallows a very deserving Christine. She's finally dragged to hell.
He said it! He said it!
All Justin Long can do is watch on in horror as the one he loves is taken from him in the most occult way. He lost it all. His love, his sanity, his reason for being. So he calls his sister Trish and they plan on going on a road trip down to Florida to see their parents. All in all, I think Drag Me to Hell is a fantastic film. Great atmosphere, wonderful score, such amazing sound design. Mrs. Baba Ganoush is such a great character. She is genuinely unsettling. And even though I make jokes, you do end up feeling sorry for Christine. You feel her panic, which is such a testament to Alison Lohman's capabilities as an actress. Sam Raimi might be a ghoul who doesn't know how to edit his films, but I tell you something, it's a gory, creepy frightmare. And I love it. Taking all of this into consideration, I give Drag Me to Hell 8 vomiting Baba Ganoushes out of 10. Remember, if you've enjoyed this, you can head over to my Patreon where you can watch the whole film along with me. Until next time, my dudes, if an old lady with a strange accent asks you for money, you give it to her.
Ghost Ninja, Ghost Ninja, Ghost Ninja, kick my ass.